It. What? She follows me everywhere. So I want to show you guys something real quick. Let's see. So when you come into the Canvas, this is new up here at the top, right? That wasn't here before. So that's for next week. Those are the times I've got for office hours. And that last one is our final exam time also. So let me make sure everybody's with me. Oh, I should put the hours on this dang thing. Good job, Jeff. This, let me edit right now. I'm starting this at 10:30. So that's going to be office hours. Our final starts at 11:35. So office hours start at 10:30. Final starts at 11:35. And so you just, oh my goodness. All right, today is a great day for typing. Today's a good day to type. Yeah, so you just log in using that link for office hours right before the final, and then for the final exam. Final exam is going to start right after office hours. These other times up here are office hours for everybody, and of course the office hours on Thursday are just for you guys. They're right before our final. Any questions about that? So the way these are going to work, these office hours here, are if you want to come ask a question, you don't have to be there at 10. You don't have to stay till 1. You just come in there somewhere, just like if I was in my office. Any questions? No? Okay. So that's how those work. And of course, this one is the one, now everybody listen up good. If you're like a couple minutes late for the final, that's fine. But at some point after that, I'm going to lock it so you cannot enter because I'm going to upload, I'm going to have the final up on Canvas so you can download it or just look at it and start working on it. If you join 10 minutes later, I do not know what you've been doing in those 10 minutes. Does it make sense? So if something happens and you're legitimately going to be late, try to shoot me an email or something immediately and let me know, and we'll work something else out. But I'm not going to let you see something and I can't see you. Any questions so far on those things? All right. Let me turn off my neat background for a second.
I emailed you about the...
Oh, yeah, I got you. So as soon as I get that ready for you, I'll let you know.
Thank you.
So on the day of the final, there's my, I don't know if you guys know who that is. Hey, your camera's gonna be like this. See there? So then if I see too much of this, no typing on the old calculator, on the old laptop, no. And then if I see this, oh, no, help me out. I don't know what this, no. So it's gonna be pointed right at you. I'm gonna see your hands and you're gonna just work. I like it. Yeah.
Do you have like a normal calculator, a plain calculator?
Yes.
Okay.
Of course. Yes. All right. And no one has informed me that they have any issues with that. We've talked about that before, that I need the webcam on, some kind of camera on you while you're doing the final. Nobody said they had any trouble with that. So I'm going to go based off of that. Okay.
So, Professor, we cannot use our phone as a calculator.
No. I mean, if that is the only calculator you have, then maybe. But then I'm going to need to see everything you do on it.
Okay.
I mean, if this doesn't make sense, then
yeah, makes sense. I understand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry. I don't mean
yeah, because I don't have a calculator. I only have my phone, but it's okay.
Okay.
It's okay. Thank you.
Sure. I've mentioned this before. I don't know if you guys are paying attention to your grades, but I'm not going to call anybody out, but the percentage of students who are obviously cheating on these quizzes is disturbing. It's very frustrating and disheartening for me, to be really honest. There's an idea of being flexible and trying to work with people in the way things are now. And then there's all that's fine. But then there's you've got to show me you know what you're doing. I mean, I don't care what in the world is happening. If we are still holding class, then the class standards still hold. So I'm not going to let that shit fly. You're going to get zeros on those, and then it's going to be much harder to pass. It doesn't make sense. That's how you get ready for the final. That's how you pass the course, is by showing me you understand what you're doing, not showing me that you can copy somebody else's solution or some application on your phone, their solution to a problem. That is not good. Now, real quick, a decent number of you guys aren't doing that, or you're doing it so well, I haven't got you yet. But oh my God, don't do that shit. All right, I'm gonna do as best I can to not let anyone who's cheating pass. Period. All right. Any questions about it? I'm really sorry. It just makes me angry, especially when there are people trying their hardest and not making the best grades in the world, but they're just trying, and then those people just cheating. No, that's bullshit. All right, what else did I put up here? Let me change the subject. Of course, there's the practice final. We're going to look at that in a minute. I also put down here in chapter 8, there's a new thing right here, combining rational expressions. This is the thing I promised you. The sections are off because it's actually from 110 class I taught, but it's the same idea. So I start off with this. Do you guys see the fractions stuff?
Yes.
Dealing with actual numbers and how to give each one what they're missing, right? And then on the other side is I go into an example with this kind of idea. Factor, see what they're missing. Any questions so far? Anybody? Are you guys doing okay out there? All right. Okay. So that's up there if you want to take a look. I like it. So let's pull up this practice final. Let me stop sharing. Where'd you go, practice final? There you are. Okay. So I'm going to pop this up here, but does anybody have any specific questions about, I mean, today is the review, is the first day of the review for the final. Today and tomorrow together are the reviews for the final. So it's really, again, like every other review, it's a little bit dependent on you, right? It's depending on what questions you have, what you want to focus on. What am I showing you right now? Can you guys see the practice final? Anybody?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so if you don't have any specific questions, then I'm just going to start to pick some of these out and have us try them out. If you do, let me know. Does anyone have like any specific questions? It could even be logistical questions, questions about how the final's going to work, questions about, and then you can ask questions about problems if you have any, or questions from homework.
Can I ask a question about the quiz?
Quiz, okay.
I mean, it's not like a specific like question about it. Like I just turned it in last night and now it says that it's missing.
Oh, who is this?
It's Mia.
Oh yeah, I put everything on the other monitor, so I'm like not even paying attention.
Sorry.
I'm gonna have to take a look to see.
Like I took a screenshot of it last night just because I was like honestly confused, but when I went to submission, it said that I didn't submit anything, and then when I went to like press submit my quiz, then it showed up that I submitted something, but then when I went to go check it right now, it said that it's missing.
So I know somebody uploaded a quiz to the wrong location.
That was me. That was last time, yeah.
That was last time.
But it was on quiz. Like I made sure that it was quiz 11.
Yeah, this time, yeah, there's nothing there. So, yeah.
Okay.
So I'm gonna put you in the same boat as. I'm just gonna count the final exam for more to cover for the missing quiz. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry.
Sorry, I have no idea why it's doing that to you. That's one reason, one huge reason I never really wanted to teach online is because all the technology introduces so many other places for weird shit. The math is already weird enough for students to handle. So I always hated the idea of putting all these other obstacles in the way. But now I have no choice, trying to make it work as best I can. Anyway, we all kind of understand what the hell's going on. So can you guys see the practice final?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So if you don't have any specific questions about anything, I'm going to
I
kind of
have a question.
Yeah, Curtis.
It was for the long division and the
Ooh, yeah.
synthetic.
Yeah.
That one I need kind of a review on that
Oh,
one.
synthetic. I don't think I covered synthetic division, which is too bad. Yeah, we didn't cover synthetic division. That was kind of like an add-on that I did. So I left it in here, so that's my fault. But it's just kind of like a shortcut for certain long divisions. But it's a little, it's a little weird, but it's actually really cool. But there just wasn't time to throw it in. It's kind of like an extra thing. I don't think it's in the book at all. It's just an extra thing I did sometimes. Can we do 1E? Is that all right, Curtis?
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
We can have just the long division, not the synthetic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't do synthetic,
That's
so I forgot to delete that off the practice final. But it's just from the last time I taught Math 90. We had time to throw it in there. Understandably, our time was a little bit changed.
Yeah.
So Lionel says 1E. So Curtis, did you want to look at the long division again? Or is it just the synthetic that was troubling you?
It was the long division.
All right. So to be nice to myself, I'm not going to try to do it on here. Can everybody go ahead and copy this problem down if you want to do it? I'm gonna put it up here on the board. What I'm calling the board. Let's see if you work. Don't worry, I'm going to switch over to a bigger thing in a minute. Let's see. Okay. Maybe I'm going to show you. Maybe I'll show you. I'll see if you guys can handle me trying to show you the synthetic thing just really quick. I'm not even going to explain it. I'm just going to show it to you, but just because it's just such a cool thing.
Do we all have a different practice final, or did you just make up that problem?
What's happening? No, that's on the actual practice final. Let me make
Is
sure.
it 1H?
Hold on. Let me look at the actual one I put up here. Hold on. I don't see why it would have been different from that one. God, that takes forever. Oh, why did I look at H? Wait a minute. Is that what that one was? Hold on. Oh, why was I looking? Oh, that's right, because that was Curtis's question. I think Lionel asked about 1E. 1H is definitely this one. On the board, right? You guys, now, are you concerned because I actually rewrote it in the long division form? Is that the?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Sorry.
Same problem, right? You see it? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just the
you're
way it
right.
was given is no good.
Sorry.
That's all right. You just made me really, I was like, holy shit, did I put a different version of the practice final? All right. It's a really interesting day so far. The practice final is now and tomorrow and the next day. I'm not sure what that means. Do you mean the actual final, or the practice final has been up there for a little while. And I'm hopefully gonna make a video of the solutions. Okay. All right. Okay. Remember, practice. I know it's been a while, but remember the before times when we had actual tests in class and I gave out practice tests and you didn't have to look at it at all. It was just another study guide thing. So the same thing with the practice final, right? You're looking at it right now because I am, but otherwise you don't have to look at it at all. Either way, whatever works to get you ready for the final. So what's the first step I do here to get this thing started? What would you say you do here?
You look at the x and the x cubed.
Yeah. So x times what is x cubed? How many more x's does this guy need?
X
times
squared.
X squared.
x squared. I love it. And then you do x squared times x,
X cubed.
and then x squared times 5. Right? Is that cool?
Yes.
All right. I got things set up so that you guys have no glare, and I have a lot of glare. Oh, well. And then what do?
Subtract.
We change.
Change the
Positive
signs.
minus.
Yes, yes.
So then that goes away. Negative 3x squared minus 5x squared.
Minus 8x squared.
Bring down the negative 7. Are you guys with me? Now
Yes.
that we've done this a little bit, can you start to see how all the steps we're taking are the same steps as like regular long division of numbers?
Yes.
They're all the same steps. I don't know. And then again, like Curtis said earlier, you do x times what is negative 8x squared. X times what is negative 8x squared. X
Yes.
times
8x.
what? Second?
8x.
Minus 8 squared. X, I mean, sorry.
Yeah, because we're going to get the other x right there. So negative
Yes.
8x times x is negative 8x
Minus.
squared. Make this a little bit, get in there. And then negative 8x times 5 is negative 40x. And then, of course, I
Change.
change
Signs.
signs. I go from Virgo to Libra.
Minus 12.
Huh? 40x minus 7x. Oh, I see. Minus 12. Okay. You had me worried there. Okay. And then x times what is 33x?
33x. Oh, just 33. Okay.
Yeah, because it's already x. X times 33 makes 33x. So then 33 times x is 33x. It's crazy. Of course it is. That's what we just figured out. 33 times 5 is 165. Sure, Jeff. Doesn't that sound good? It sounds right. Good. And then change signs. And I get negative 177. Crazy. So that would be
Yeah, just before you finished up the equation, the 165, where did it come from?
so 33 times x is 33x. 33 times 5.
Oh, yeah, it would be
Because
165.
remember, you got to multiply this by this. So distribute.
Oh, okay, I get it now. I've always, okay. I get it.
Yeah, dude, I think I remember this. You kept putting one thing here. However many terms are here are always however many terms are here. Because you're distributing what you put here to that.
Okay.
That was my point for doing stuff like 71 into 507. And you go 7 into 50 is 7. But do you just multiply 7 times 7? No, you multiply 7 times 71. Right? Anyway. So it's
I
real
have a
quick.
question.
Huh? Say yes.
I have a question. The number I don't understand. Up number 12. What is number? What is this number?
What? Where are we looking? What is
The
it?
long division.
On this problem?
Yes. I don't understand this number. 165 is plus
160? Sure.
165?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't understand the number. That's fine.
Where did I get 33x from? Where did I get this from?
It's from 33x from the plus 33. Yes,
33
I got
times
it.
x. And what's 33 times 5?
165.
That's where it came from.
Yes, I got it. Yes.
Same place the 40 came from, same place the negative 5 is from.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Now, I'm just going to put this up here. I don't even know if it's a good idea. I'm just going to do it. This is what it would look like. I'm going to do it real quick because I don't want to take up a lot of time. You don't have to know synthetic, but I just want to show you what synthetic would look like. Where that glare is coming from. Negative 5 times 1 is negative 5. Add, multiply, add, multiply, add. Are you seeing a lot of the same numbers? Do you see how that?
This one is easier.
Yeah, but do you know why it works? Do you understand anything I just did? Do you see the numbers that came out? Sure. Do you understand why it works? No.
Okay.
All right, so I'm not going to let you use this method.
Okay.
I just wanted to show you what it looks like. Because the worst thing about this is, look how, isn't that wasted time writing that shit down? Because that's always going to cancel. So this kind of like is a way of removing all the extra shit. It does all the same work. Look here, negative 3 minus 5, negative 3 minus 5, negative 7 plus 40, negative 7 plus 40, negative 12, and then negative 12. It just focuses on the most important parts. Why does it work? You don't know, but I just wanted to show it to you. So if you're interested in it, you can Google synthetic division, or you can email me and I can send you a handout on it if I can find it. I don't have all my handouts with me anymore. Oh well. All right, I'm sorry. Did somebody else have a different question?
Yes, I have a one.
Yeah.
It's from chapter 9, the square root. So the square root of x squared. So you said the x value should be absolute value. So my question is, x could be the -1 or no?
Yes. Well,
Yes.
and again, all right, let me show you real quick. I think at the beginning of the problems, there it is. Hold on, I'll put this up here as soon as I get to that section. What section was that again? That was
Chapter 9.
chapter 9. Are you looking at a specific problem?
Square root.
Or are you looking at a specific problem? Okay, let me just go to the homework section. Let's see if they do any weird shit. Where you got some weird shit? This is interesting. I'm really curious about this. Let me share this with you. I'm very curious about this. So here, this kind of problem here, right? These kind of problems? Can you see the book?
Yes, we can.
All right, so you're talking about those kind of problems, right, Yangsha?
Yes.
Okay. I'm really curious now. Let's see.
Yeah,
What
29.
that does for me. Whoa, what? So see, oh my God, this really can't handle shit, can it? Okay. I'm curious what they put down as the answer. Oh my God, that's not even the right problem. What have you done, book? What have you done? What have you done, book? Book, let me go back. I'm negotiating with the book. Oh my God, this book sucks. So I think in the actual, I pointed this out yesterday. I don't know if you guys remember this. I said it, in general, it needs an absolute value, but in the book, in the instructions, they say that to what do you call it? To assume that the variables are positive, right? I can't remember, at some point they say
Yes,
here. Yeah, we will assume that each variable in a square root expression represents a non-negative number. My God, it took a while for them to say insides are positive. So we talked about the fact that the square root of x squared is technically the absolute value of x. And we talked about that yesterday, and hopefully it makes sense. Was it yesterday or the day before? Might have been the day before. And then I said, the book tries to make things simpler. It says, okay, forget about the absolute value. Let's just focus on cutting things in half. Just assume that they're positive, so you don't have to put an absolute value. You guys semi with me? So if you put an absolute value, I'll be fine with it. But technically they're saying, all right, Jeff, you went right path. There you go. That would be, what would the square root of y squared be then if we're assuming that y is positive?
Why?
Why? Because I want to know. Oh, no, you're right. Why? What's the square root of w to the 24? Somebody else. What's number 32? Anybody else?
W
W
to the 12th power?
to the 12th power. Kick ass,
Yeah.
because what's the square root do? It cuts things in half. That's what it does. What is w to the 12th times w to the 12th?
W to the 24?
Right, because you add the exponent. So of course the square root of w to the 24th is w to the 12th, because it takes two w to the 12ths to multiply to be w24. Isn't that what a square root means? What does it take two of to multiply to be this thing? That's what it tries to figure out. But with exponents, it becomes simple. It becomes cut them in half. That's so beautiful. Why is it that simple? Because when I multiply them, I add them. So when I square root them, I cut them in half.
So like for number 34, it would be 50y.
No, careful. 50
Oh.
times 50 is not 100. It's based on
Oh, it would,
multiplication.
yeah, it'd be 10y.
10y.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Kick ass.
Okay.
All right. Is everybody with me? So what's funny is square roots are not always easy. That is very true. But the basic purpose of them, the basic thing they try to do is itself easy. It's an easy idea. It's not always easy to cut things in half, but the idea of cutting things in half is relatively easy. We just have to remember that's what the symbol wants to have happen. Is that all right with you guys?
Yes, Professor. So my question is, if we solve like the number 29, if we solve the y, if we solve y, so y could be negative or no?
No, because again,
No.
Up here they said, just to remind you, in this chapter, we will assume that each variable.
Oh, we just assume.
Yeah. And
Oh,
to be
no.
really honest, I wish they didn't do that, but at the same time, they are two separate kind of ideas to keep track of. So they kind of want you, for an introductory thing, they just want you focused on cutting things in half and not trying to remember when to put an absolute value and not and when not to.
Oh, I got it. It could be negative, but in this chapter, we assume
We
we
assume
only
it's not.
assume it's a positive.
We assume that we're given a problem where the variable can't be negative.
Oh,
Now I'm gonna make things really neat. Oh shit. So tell me this. Can you guys do the square root of 13? I mean, can you get the exact answer without a calculator? Even then you can't get the exact. Well, I just gave it away. But can you do that the same way you do the square root of 16?
No.
What's the square root of 16?
4?
4. Well, the
Yeah.
square root of 13, I don't know. Something just a little bit under 4, right? But now watch, stay with me. That's an absolutely true thing we just said, right? You cannot do the square root of 13 easily at all. It's going to be some gross decimal that never ends. Is anybody not with me with that? We all know this. We know this. We know that roots are gross unless you have certain numbers in them, and then they're nice. All right, so watch this. Isn't 13 9 plus 4?
Yes.
Now, trust me, the answer is still you can't do shit. I can't say that this is 3 plus 2. Do you guys see that? I can't. The square root is based on multiplication and what operations inside. Addition. They don't play well together. There's no way that if I said that this was 3 plus 2, then I'm saying that 5 squared is 13. All right, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. What's that got to do with anything, Jeff? So how do you think I do this problem? We're going to combine the last 2 chapters in this problem. So the chapter before the one we're in, I'm sorry. Well, sort of, sure. But the chapter before that even, what were we doing?
X minus 4 and X plus 1. Are you
No,
factoring it?
Yeah. But that won't make -4 in the middle.
I'm sorry, X minus 2 and X minus 2.
Yeah, so this, right? Is that cool?
Yes.
X minus 2 times X minus 2 is X minus 2 squared. So what's the square root of this thing squared? What's the
X
square
minus
root?
2?
Yeah. What's the square root of y squared? Y. What's the square root of a squared? A. So what's the square root of this thing squared? This thing. Come on, think. Assuming that X minus 2 is positive, right? Let's try this shit out real quick, and then I'll stop doing these because I promise. Well, what if X was 5? What if X is 5? This would be 25 minus 4 times 5, 20. 25 minus 20 is 5, plus 4 is 9. What's the square root of 9?
3.
3. And if X is 5, 5 minus 2 is 3. Holy shit. Okay, that's enough. Sorry. I think you see something like this in the homework, if I remember correctly. I could be going insane or continuing further into insanity. Dang. Is that a cool dang or a bad dang or just a neutral dang? I don't know. Or did I just say something? I never know what I say anymore. Cool, I guess. At least it leans in that direction. All right. It's a non-committed dang. Okay. All right, guys. Sorry. I went on a big old tangent there. Anything else you guys want to focus on for today? And then we have tomorrow, even more of this awkwardness tomorrow, but hopefully maybe there'll be more questions tomorrow. I don't know.
Is there any way to show your work on square roots since we're able to use the calculator for the quiz, but it's just
Yeah, very good
Power button?
question. Very good question. So if I ask you to do something like this,
Yes.
right, what's the answer?
8,
Why?
because 8 squared is 64.
Yeah. Even then, I mean, there's only so much I can,
Okay.
you can still
so that's
just
what you're
mini
looking
know to
for.
say whatever number you get out of the calculator. Now, what I'm going to know that you're using calculator is the people that I give this problem to. What problem, Jeff? This problem. And they give me a decimal answer? No. What do we do with this weird thing? What can I do with this? Can you do the square root of 99? No, you could do the square root of 100 though, right? Curtis just did that earlier. Right? Square root of 100 is 10. So square root of 99, I can't do that the same way. I can't. But there is something I can do. Do you guys remember what we did last time? Can I break 99 up?
Yes.
As what times what? There's only one way to break it up to make it work. Like I could break it up 3 times 33, right? Why is that no good? Because neither 3 or 33 are squares. So obviously what square number goes into 99?
Okay, another one going.
Not
Yeah,
9 and 11?
Okay, I was right. I was like doubting myself.
That's right. And then what's the square root of 9?
3.
3. What's the square root of 11? I don't know. Do the part you can and leave the part you can't. We've done that with fractions before. That's what mixed numbers are. This is just the same idea, just with roots. Root the part you can and leave the part you can't. Maybe. Okay. What prompted
When it
that?
comes to test day, will you let us know if there's anything else that's kind of similar to this where you'd want more explanation?
Well, my point with to be honest, my point with this was, even if you write this down, you can write that down even if you did this in the calculator.
Correct.
Yeah, so it still doesn't show me that you got it from your head, right? So it's, I'm just screwed both ways. But the same thing would have happened in the classroom anyway. That kind of thing doesn't have anything to do with this delivery method. It's just, you know, I would rather you not. I'm going to put instructions on the final saying you do these without a calculator, and like I said, you're going to have your paper showing here, so I should be able to tell if you're not using your calculator, but we'll find out. It's my first time doing this way.
Did you just say that there would be parts that you can't use a calculator?
Yeah, in the instructions, I will definitely say, you know, simplify this without a calculator.
Okay.
Now, in the classroom, if I said that, but I was letting you use your calculator for the final, which I would, then I would really have no way to know that you didn't or did use your calculator, right? So it's just that whole honor thing. It's crazy.
Could we do graphs?
Sure.
That's the one I have the most. I struggle the most on.
What kind of graphs? What do you?
Find the equation
Oh.
of the line satisfying the following: have slope m equal -1/3, passing through the point 0, -5.
Yes. All right. Does anyone remember when I asked you to find the equation of a line, what 2 things do you need to figure out? Let's start with, what are the 2 equations of a line we worked with? What's the main one that everybody kind of knows?
So we need the slope and the point.
Slope and a point. I like it.
Y equals mx plus b.
There we go. Or, remember this one? I have no idea. Let's see if that looks all right. Yeah. All right, it's trying to be a B up here. Now, look at what I gave you. Do you have to figure out the slope in this problem?
No.
No, I gave it to you. Do you know what B is? What does B represent? The idea. What is this? M is the slope, and B is the
Y-intercept.
y-intercept. What's true about the y-intercept? What's the x value have to be?
0.
0. So look at this point I gave you. I know what M is, and I know what B is. Isn't B the y piece of the y-intercept? So you just have to keep in mind, when I say find the equation of the line that does stuff, you got to figure out 2 things, a point and the slope. In this problem, I told you both of those things directly, right? I can't, my camera's not mirrored, so, right? I told you both of those things. You just got to realize that this one kicks out. I don't have to use this equation. I can use that equation because I know what B is. B is -5. Is that all right? No? So I think the second question in that is more interesting. Let me see, where was that at? Was this on the practice final, or was that from another thing earlier? Here it is. I found it. Yeah, 7B is much more interesting. How about this problem? Is that all right, though, Curtis? I didn't mean to, like, you know what M is? You just got to throw it in.
Yeah,
B
I
is
get it.
-5.
Uh-huh.
All right. So look at the next one. It's got to be perpendicular to this weirdness and goes through 4, what is it? 4, -2? Yeah, -4, 2. So I give you a point. It's not the y-intercept, so I can't use that one. I'm going to have to use this one. So I give you an x piece and a y piece, okay? Now I just got to figure out what the slope is. How in the hell am I going to figure out what the damn slope is? Do I have anything in there that I've been told that relates to the slope? What does perpendicular mean?
It
What is
means they
parallel? What is, oh, sorry.
perpendicular means that they intersect each other.
In a very specific way.
A 90-degree angle. I think?
Yes.
Yeah.
Not just, like that, but they have to meet at 90-degree angle, right? So parallel, what kind of slopes would parallel lines have? The slope would have to be,
Like right across from each other going the same way.
so the slopes would have to be different? The same?
The same.
Yeah, in fact, what do parallel lines look like? What symbol? Equals. Ah! So if I have two parallel lines, they have to have the same slope, or else one of them is rising quicker than the other one is going to run into each other, right? So parallel slopes, exactly the same. Perpendicular lines have totally opposite slopes. Does this sound familiar? If I know that it's perpendicular to this line, if I knew this line slope, I would know my slope, because I could just totally change it. Negative reciprocal of it. Does that sound familiar? No? Shit. So if one slope if one slope was 2/5, the perpendicular slope would be -5/2. Right? Negative reciprocal. So how do you figure out this guy's slope?
Solve for y.
Yes, solve for y, so then I can just see what the slope is by looking at it. That's too good to believe. So if I add 6x over and divide by 2, I get 3x. So what's my slope going to be? What's this guy's slope? I don't know why it wrote so tiny. Have you all just kind of checked out? You're all like, oh my God, this is too much. Oh my God. What's this guy's slope?
3.
3. So what's my slope?
3.
No, we're not parallel. We're perpendicular. This is 3, so mine is going to be
The reciprocal.
the negative reciprocal. Totally
Yes.
different. Parallel, exactly the same. Perpendicular, totally different. Right? So this is going to be, my slope is going to be -1/3. So now I can throw -1/3 in here, and I can throw my point that I know, the x piece, the y piece. Right?
Still can't get over the fact that the 3 always has a 1 below it. You kind of have to remember that.
Yeah, it's just a decision we made to just always know it's there, and then it kind of kicks us in the ass when we sort of forget that fact. We don't write it for ourselves. It saves a lot of time, but we just got to remember it's there. It's sort of like a little agreement we have with everybody else. There's a 1 there. Okay, sounds good. All right. All right, so probably let me give you guys a couple tips on how to study. And I should I think I did this before, and I keep forgetting to find this thing again. But what I normally did when I was in a class is I would go through the chapters and I would write all the main ideas of those chapters, and then I would have it be like a checklist. Do I feel confident about this idea? Not this one. Let me go look at that chapter and do a couple examples. That might be a little more than any of you ever have done or want to do, but that's one of the best ways to study, is to, what are all the concepts we learned? And then let me rate how I feel about each concept. And then I know what to focus on. Or you can write down all the concepts and then look at the practice final and say, okay, this problem is this kind of problem. This problem is this kind of problem. Because that's a huge issue for math students, is identifying what kind of problem it is I'm looking at. And you all know that. You're like, I don't know what to do on this problem. And then you just try whatever comes to mind, and you pray. Let me see. Is there something else? Oh yeah. There's the function stuff at the end. I'm sorry that the what do you call it, formatting got all freaked out. So one big thing to study is factoring. I mean, if you still don't quite have factoring down, it affects your understanding and capability of doing more things. So factoring is kind of key for doing several problems. So if you get factoring down, you should suddenly be able to do several more problems. Other than that, if you're not really sure what to do and you don't want to make a checklist of things like I suggested, like you're like, oh, that's crazy. Just go through the practice final and just, how do I feel about this kind of problem? Do I really know what to try to do? Right? I'm going to try to post that video so you can kind of check what you did versus what I did, and see why maybe it's different. Also, don't forget, let me see, where did I put it? Here. I'm not sure if everybody was here earlier. Ah, crap. That's not what I want to show you. Let me undo that. All right, let me try this again. Darn it. Okay, that's what I want to show you. So where are you? Is that you? Yes, that's you. Okay, all right, sorry. So these are my office hours for next week, right? If you click on one of these, you'll get all the Zoom information. Everybody with me? So this is just like it would be if I was in my office. I don't know if I said this earlier, but you don't have to be there right at 10. You don't have to stay until 1. You can come in at 11:23 and then leave at 11:31 if you just have a couple questions to ask. Does everybody understand that? So don't look at that and go, I don't want to be there 10 to 1 on frickin' Monday. It's a holiday, you asshole. No, it's time I am giving you on my holiday. If you want to come on Monday and ask questions, or Tuesday or Thursday right before the final. You don't have to come. And if you do come, you don't have to be there for the whole time, just like normal office hours, right? So if you click on those, it'll show you the login information, and you can come in and leave whenever you want to, multiple times if you want to. It doesn't bother me. And if nobody comes, I'll just grade. Oh, Alex. Thanks, man. If nobody comes, then I'll just grade finals. It's crazy. I'm gonna have a lot of shit to do. So either way, if you do come, I've set that time aside. I can grade other times. I seem to have less I can do, like all of us. So I have more time to go crazy. You're welcome. All right, guys. So I really want you to come tomorrow ready, just ready with specific or general questions about whatever, right? And I will make sure to hit everybody that's got a question. If the chat starts getting a little crazy, I'll say, hold up, let me catch up, right? If somebody's trying to ask me 5 questions in a row, I'll say, wait a minute, let me get somebody else and I'll come back to you. Does everybody understand? I really want it to be where I've got too many questions to get to. And it really should be. So just remember, if you have a question, at least 10 other people have the same question. You could be their hero, if just for one day. That's more than I had for today. I mean, it's up to you guys. Again, still, we have a little bit of time left. If anybody has a quick question they want to ask. Otherwise, I'm going to let you guys go and you can start looking at this practice final and your quiz.
For 1K, would we just say not a real number because it has a negative?
Let me see where I put it. There it is. 1K. Yes, good.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And remember, I think I said 1M would be extra credit or something. We didn't get that far in chapter 9 for 1M. So that question will not be on there. What's really cool about 1M, if you want to try it out, I might put it as a bonus. If you simplify rad 20 and you simplify rad 45, they become like terms, what's left over. Or if you don't want to at all, you don't have to at all because we didn't make it that far. It's okay. If any of you guys are going to take 103 or 110 next, possibly, you actually pick up with factoring. So there's a bit of overlap. Does that make sense? So it's okay that we didn't get through all of chapter 9 because you're going to basically cover it again, just a little bit more in depth. Maybe. And some of you guys might be planning on shooting straight to 160 or 120 or something else, in which case you're not going to need as much algebra.
Just to clarify, 9.1 and 9.2 are all that's due for section 9?
That's right. And I got
Thank you.
both homework shells up on Canvas, so you have places to turn those in. All right, cool. I don't see anything else. I'm going to shut things down and grab some lunch. I'm a hungry boy. All right. So
Thank
I'll
you.
see you guys tomorrow. Come ready. Come ready with questions.
Thank you.
Take care, guys.